Hi, I'm Berta, a clinical hypnotherapist and a trainer supporting new to the industry hypnotists, hypnotherapist coaches, or similar. And in this video, I will be addressing another question that I come across a lot, and that is how to work with a client that does not relax into hypnosis. Now, when I see this question, I regress right back to the time when I needed to take some good 10 minutes, 10 or 15 perhaps minutes from the therapy time to relax the client into hypnosis in order for us to be able to work on the presented issue together. Uh, And now as I have a solution to that, which is the hypnosis part is not, anymore a thing on my mind. So it doesn't represent an issue anymore, but just for a demonstration about which I will speak a bit more later. Now, instead of diving straight into the matter of the problem, nonetheless, the excellent results, the big issue for me was time related mainly. Now, think about this. How do I regress back somewhere when I see, for example, this question without anyone putting me into trance and not becoming concerned about it as I have a solution about it now? So, first things first, it had been an automatic unconscious expression in a form of a spontaneous regression. You have most probably experienced that too. And in a daily life language, we say, I got reminded of, or I just thought of something, you see? Um, and if you need, in the hypnotherapy work, if you need the unconscious to work in yours and your client's favor, and it happens that they come in readily expressing from the unconscious, there and then, we can very well pay attention to it right away instead of first coming to some kind of state, or if stressed, calming somehow, and then starting to induce all over a state that was already there in the first place. So now I understand that we were all taught about it like that initially, that you need to induce some kind of hypnosis in a certain way, like using techniques for deep relaxation in order for you to be able to work with a client. And what I'm saying, perhaps it sounds a bit more complex to comprehend right away, as it is a very advanced practice, I may say. It is indeed very much needed because in many cases people come in a certain state that has become out of what we think of as ordinary calm. So, not necessarily upset, but not as calm at the same time. And not in every case, the relaxation itself will solve a problem on its own. It may help for a time if that's what it's needed, required, or the client requires from the session or from you. So, to relax, so to speak. But relaxation in itself is a byproduct of a result. So, in a conversational hypnosis, which I like to call organic conversation in hypnotherapy, because it is really a natural conversation in which you don't try anything but engage with the client in a deep, natural conversation. We put the attention to the therapeutic part mostly instead of hypnosis and let the relaxation come as a byproduct. For sure, though, we utilize those unconscious expressions or cues that will help the client go where they need to in an easier manner so they can find what would help them, which thing, no matter how hard they tried to find earlier by themselves, they couldn't really. So, the whole point is meeting the client where they are once you have agreed to work together. So it's being very specific with how you start the session with a client, meaning if you don't try anything but go with what the client presents to you at that time, and then continue in a consecutive or very specific order of things according to the need of the moment, will produce incredibly profound and lasting results, which will then, as a byproduct, not only produce a more relaxing or calm state of being, but also, in most cases, solve a myriad of related problems to the one that the client represented initially. So also it is important, I think, to mention that you will be more regulated by not trying much, which will be also a very good resource for co-regulation as well. And what will help you in this is the curiosity, like genuine curiosity. It will make sense to you because when you become genuinely curious about how, for example, might the client think about this thing in this way, how are they stuck? Knowing that, for example, many people are not in something alike, or them not at all born with that, will replace trying. So you ask questions, get answers, thoughtful answers. So seeing that should also help you eliminate the worry about the depth of trance, on the other hand, and be much more attuned to what is happening in front of you. It is also to be, found in everyday life examples. Like, can you recall, for example, a moment in time when you found an answer to something you could not before? And at that moment, you go deeper into the matter, presented. So the same is with our clients. There's no need to tell them go deep or deeper. You will, then become more cautious and spot the automatic responses, or because there is different also with automatic responses, which are rehearsed and which are, really coming from a thoughtful or absorbed focus into the matter presented as an issue. So you will be able to spot those moments and make the client feel okay with expressing those freely, so they are enabled to go deeper, what I was pointing at, without you needing to say that, because they will not be feeling like judged that they could not do something that you tell them to do, and the resistance will drop and the whole conversation or the session will go much, much more easier. So, like, sometimes, perhaps there will not be a solution that any of you think is the best. I mean, you and your client. And sometimes, all people need to build something from scratch altogether. And while it is spoken of acceptance, not trying to control this and that, it is very little spoken about this, and similar to it. But it can be the case in a change work with or without the therapist. Sure, it is much easier though when there's someone to help or support somehow. But yes, those things can happen. So not being concerned with hypnosis part, but being more present, being more curious, more attuned is what will, make everything go smoother, shorten the time and whatnot. So yes, few ideas were thrown into this video. If you need to and think it could help, listen to it again. And if you choose to entertain this way of practice, let me know about your experience. And in the other video or next video, I will be talking a bit about situations when the clients say, I cannot be hypnotized. So for now, that was it, and see you soon.